Sawadee-ka, welcome to another edition of Newsline. We broadcast live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's a Tuesday, and the date is May 26th of 2015, and you're with me, Sandra Han Utsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, the Prime Minister is asking reporters to avoid presenting any story that will show Thailand in a bad light. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said that the solutions to the Rohingya problem do need collaboration from the origin of the issue to the transit countries and the final destinations, as well as related international organizations. General Prayut also asked members of the press not to report any story that will tarnish the reputation of Thailand and make the international community misunderstand about how the country has been treating the boat people. He insisted that Thailand has been treating everyone equally and offering all humanitarian assistance the boat people should need before they are handed over to such destination countries as Indonesia and Malaysia. The Prime Minister added that both the Royal Thai Navy and the Royal Thai Air Force will be patrolling over Thai waters while standing ready with a large and fully equipped vessel as a preliminary migrant relief effort. To many Thais, wars in neighboring countries may seem like a thing of the past now that several nations are working towards prosperity. However, Thailand has borne the brunt of these conflicts for decades, providing shelter to hundreds of thousands of war refugees. And Kun Palada Mongsirit has more for us.
For more than 30 years, war victims have been crossing the border into Thailand to escape human rights abuse and persecution in their country. Several have resettled in 9 camps across Mae Hong Son, Tak, Kanchanaburi, and Ratchaburi provinces. These camps shelter more than 140,000 migrants, an ever-growing number. Despite the increase of refugee populations, the government has decided to allow them to live on Thai soil until the unrest in their country has abated. This resolution has led to the government shouldering humanitarian commitments and providing them with basic necessities, including food, accommodations, and schooling, amid limited resources and its own domestic problems. These large humanitarian duties on a small country like Thailand can complicate the domestic issues for the country and its people. Although the government differentiates between illegal migrants and war refugees, state policies are based in principles of compassion. Providing humanitarian assistance to fellow human beings remains the government's top priority regardless of race, as evidenced by its tireless efforts to find solutions to human trafficking on both local and international levels. The Thai government has long been active in the refugee dialogue. Previous administrations have hosted regional discussions to discuss related issues, such as human trafficking and migrant labor. The state has made attempts to provide education and vocational training to the refugees. However, these programs have been hampered by insufficient regional cooperation and internal problems. Establishing refugee camps has never been considered a long-term solution. Nonetheless, those already under the state's care will be treated in accordance with international humanitarian standards, while the government continues to work towards viable solutions. This is Palada Monsidi reporting.
Thank you to Kun Palada for that report. And Thailand and Fiji expressed keen interest in strengthening economic ties and increasing the volume of two-way trade. At Government House, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha extended an overwhelming welcome to Fijian Prime Minister Josiah Vorenge Bainimarama who is on an official visit to the Kingdom of Thailand. The Fijian premier was accompanied by two ministers, the Minister for Agriculture and the Minister for Fisheries and Forestry, who will seek cooperation on various issues from the Thai side. General Prayut said Thailand always deems Fiji as a close and important economic partner, as well as a gateway to other Pacific Island countries. Fiji is also a main importer of Thai consumer goods and has high growth potential in terms of construction, tourism, and public utility. The Thai premier also proposed that both countries increase the number of flights and two-way trade value. Currently, Thai exports to Fiji are automobile and parts, plastic resin, and sugar. Thailand's trade surplus with Fiji is $49 million. The Cabinet has submitted over 100 suggestions related to the draft charter to the Constitution Drafting Committee. Deputy Prime Minister Wisnu Krangam chaired a press conference on the special cabinet meeting which discussed the suggestions about the draft of the charter to the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC. Mr. Wisnu said that around half of some 100 suggestions the cabinet has prepared involved the clarification of wording, while the remainder is about the context of various articles. He said that the cabinet is ready to explain all points to the CDC if needed. The Deputy Prime Minister added that the cabinet has three main concerns about the draft charter, including how to sustainably continue all efforts the current government has implemented and will implement, how to restore peace, order, and unity in Thailand, and how to make Thai politics stay clean and good in the future. At least two committees under the National Reform Council are proposing changes to the draft charter to the Constitution Drafting Committee. The chairman of the National Reform Council, or NRC's Political Reform Committee, Sombat Thamrong Thanyawong, says that the Legal and Justice Reform Committee and his committee have joined forces in preparing a set of recommended changes to the draft constitution, which will be presented to the charter drafters soon. Mr. Sombat said that the changes the two committees are proposing are aimed at helping make the new constitution more concise by removing some articles from the draft document. They have, however, added some suggestions derived from their meetings with people across the country. Suggestions based on public opinion include a stipulation that a prime minister must already be an elected member of parliament, and a change in the ratio of party list and constituency members of parliament, or MPs, to 100 to 400. The National Reform Council, or NRC, has deliberated 4 principles in the reform of land management and has proposed the revision of the Community Forest Act to better benefit local communities. The National Reform Council, or NRC, Committee on the Reform of Natural Resources and Environmental Policies said any reform effort on land management must coincide with the principles of creating equal access to natural resources, supporting reforestation, encouraging local participation, and reducing conflict between communities and the state authorities. The committee proposed the Land Bank Act in order to provide funding for land development and land appropriation for local farmers and the impoverished. Meanwhile, the proposed Community Title Deed Act and the Community Forest Act would encourage public participation in public land management, which would facilitate efficiency in forest conservation at the local level. Professor Michel Troppet, a scholar from the University of Paris, will give a special lecture on charter drafting at a seminar hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thailand has invited 3 foreign scholars to share their thoughts and personal experiences on political crisis their countries had encountered in the past and what their countries did to overcome these stressful situations. One of the scholars was Professor Michel Troppé, Emeritus Professor in Public Law at the University of Paris. Professor Troppé is scheduled to give his lecture today. The lecture will highlight case studies of constitution drafting in France and resolutions to a political crisis. From 2002 to 2006, Professor Troppé was a member of France's Judicial Council. He is also an expert in constitution drafting, especially the accuracy of charter provisions. He is well respected for his role in resolving conflicts over constitutional law. The Ministry of Finance is expecting to take 2 months to issue a special law that will allow it to sell shares in subsidiaries of state enterprises to raise money to pay off the massive debt incurred from mice mortgaging. Finance Minister Somai Phasi explained that of the roughly 720 billion baht of debt, some 520 billion baht was incurred from the rice mortgage scheme. The remaining portion was incurred from the operations of the State Railway of Thailand, the Bangkok Mass Transit Authority, and the Social Security Fund. The bill to be issued will help the government shave off some of the debt burden. The minister noted that the Ministry of Finance will sell shares in a way that has minimal effect on the stock market, and emphasis will be placed on ill-performing subsidiaries of state enterprises that have been causing losses to the state. According to the minister, the bill will be prepared in 2 months and then submitted to the cabinet for approval, after which it will be forwarded to the National Legislative Assembly. The government currently has to set aside 64 billion baht each year to service its debt. For fiscal year 2016, the government is setting aside 61 billion baht for repayment of principals. The Thai Industrial Sentiment Index, or TISI, in April 2015 posted a decrease to 86.2, the lowest standing for the past 7 months, due largely to worries over the economic condition. Speaking of the TISI of April, Chairman of the Federation of Thai Industries, or FTI, Supan Mongkonsuthi, pointed out that the index dropped from 87.7 in March to 86.2. The figure represented a contraction for the 4th consecutive month and the lowest record in 7 months. The chairman attributed the continuous decline in industrial confidence to the reduction in several indicators, including the number of purchasing orders, sales, production volume, operating capital, and revenue. The negative sentiment, coupled with concerns over the drought situation, has affected spending and liquidity in the agricultural and SME sectors. NBT World correspondent Panot Sinsap has been in Kanchanaburi for the week, staying in a special elephant camp meant to help and care for elephants in need, and he has been filing special reports on what is happening there and about the overall current situation of elephants in Thailand. So let's find out more from Kun Panot.
Deep in the valley of Kanchanaburi lies a beautiful facility to accommodate sick, old, disabled, abused, and rescued elephants called the Elephants World Foundation. The foundation was started in 2008 with 3 elephants, and today there are 18 elephants and 18 volunteers. Meet Alyssa Evans, a volunteer here at the Elephants World Foundation. She will give us a special one-day tour.
My name is Alyssa Evans. I'm from America. I knew that I really wanted to work in an animal sanctuary.
Activities here starts with observing the elephants taking a nice, relaxing mud bath, and then off to prepare food for them.
Okay, like that, we've actually got this board here And it's got the names of all of our elephants and then all of like the different foods that we might feed them. And it has whether or not they can have it. So you can see all of our elephants can have bananas. And then, you know, we have a really picky eater with Sana. She only likes small and fresh yam beans and only soft and big pineapple. And if she doesn't like it, she'll just throw it. And we're like, oh, okay then.
So one basket is like a day?
2 baskets a day. So 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Yeah. Yeah, and they're always still like, there's no more. Kind of like how, you know, we are with snacks.
Once the basket is full, we are off to make sticky rice for elephants that require special attention.
So elephants lose their teeth about 6 times in their life. When they're about 60 years old, their last set of teeth come out. And in the wild, during the dry season, their food is too hard, and they end up starving to death. In captivity, we can feed them soft food throughout the year, so they live till about 80. So this is actually for our elephants who have lost their teeth. We make them sticky rice. We make them into balls and then roll it in calcium powder, and then we feed it straight to the elephant.
Off we go feeding our first elephant.
So this is Bo. She's blind, totally blind. She's very, very sweet, and she likes being fed in the mouth. So to feed her, you just tap her right here. She opens her mouth, and then you just put her right inside. Yep.
Next, bathing with elephants.
So this should be like the highlight of the day, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you get a chance to sit on the neck of an elephant in the water, of course, so it's not too stressful for them. But it's kind of like fun swimming time.
Lastly, feeding them fruit and vegetables before bidding farewell. Travelers here also enjoy the facilities.
I heard of it from colleagues of caring for the elephants. It's really fun, it's also for the children.
It was indeed a great feeling to connect with the animal that is so symbolic for Thais. And I am fortunate to have more time here. Tomorrow, in my next report, we will be meeting Lamduan, the blind elephant, and her caretaker, Nasio Jaiki, who will be sharing her heartfelt story. Panosi Sinsap, NBT World, Kanchanaburi.
Thank you to Kun Pano for that report, and that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's time for a quick break, but first here's a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The second core value, being honest, sacrificing, showing restraint and determinations in doing good for the majority.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Nepal has recently been hit by a massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake. The disaster has caused great damage to the country. Thousands of people lost their lives. Thousands of people lost their family. Thousands of people lost their homes. Millions of people are still in dire need of support. can lend a helping hand by donating to these accounts.
We have received many calls offering help in kind, means trying to send goods, and they are asking how we can help. We are really humbled by the offer of the government and the people of Thailand for our people in Nepal, and we highly appreciate it.
Welcome back to Newsline. ThaiFEX World of Food Asia 2015 concluded successfully on Sunday at Impact Arena, attracting over 130,000 visitors and generating 8.3 billion Thai baht of income, according to Director General of the Department of International Trade Promotion, Nantawan Sakuntana. Most of the earnings, or 8.12 billion Thai baht, was in the form of purchasing orders resulting from business negotiations on the business day of the event, whereas 1.41 billion Thai baht was worth of immediate orders made by the public. Business matching was arranged for nearly 200 pairs of entrepreneurs through the platform of thaitrade.com. It had generated 75 million Thai baht in earnings. The Director General of the Department of International Trade Promotion said that the Commerce Ministry had plans to strengthen ties with foreign partners through proactive negotiations and reduce trade barriers at all levels. The Thai government has set its goal to make Thailand ASEAN's biggest center of food and service industries, paving the way for the country to become a leading kitchen of the world. At least 11 people died on Monday morning after a powerful tornado ripped through the northern Mexican border city of Ciudad Acuna, destroying dozens of homes and wrecking cars, Mayor Evaristo Lenin Perez said. An estimated 180 people were injured in the whirlwind, which damaged as many as 350 homes, knocking down walls and ceilings and slamming into vehicles in the city that lies across the Rio Grande from Del Rio, Texas. Perez told local television that most of the dead were people who were outside, not inside their homes. Images from local media showed upturned cars and piles of rubble left by the tornado, which struck at just after 6 a.m. local time on Monday, according to a statement put out by the city's home state of Coahuila. State civil protection authorities said they were working on clearing the debris of the destroyed buildings and cars that were displaced. Authorities said the death toll in Acuna, which had a population of about 134,000 in 2010, could rise once all agencies had finished their search. Coahuila's Governor, Ruben Morera, is due to visit the city this afternoon. And that is it for today's edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, then please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT. And do check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. We're going to say goodbye today with some footage of a baby hippopotamus swimming with its mother in San Diego Zoo. Have a spectacular day. For Newsline, I'm Sandra Hanit Saha. Sawadee ka.